Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, One Book or Novel at a Time. I will continue reading to you Goosebumps Most Wanted, Planet of the Long Gnomes, Book 1. With that, I will start. Chapter 19. Two other long gnomes came charging at me from either side of the porch. They dove at me, lowering their shoulders, trying to tackle me around the knees. With a cry, I leaped back. They thudded hard against each other, cracking heads. "Oh no!" I uttered a cry as I saw McClatch's gnomes running up my front lawn, and two more gnomes from my other neighbor, and a whole bunch of them from down the street, all running, all grunting, all heading for me. Their pointed caps tilted towards me as they ran. Their hands were outstretched, ready to grab me. They chattered and cried out in a language I'd never heard before, like the chatter of birds. I spun away, started to the right. No, more gnomes closing in on me. With another cry, I spun to the left. No escape from them. I was trapped. They formed a circle around me, a dozen of them. No, no more! The circle tightened, chattering, and the gnomes closed in on me. "Get away!" I screamed. "Stay away from me, you little freaks!" The gnomes ignored my screams. They tightened the circle till I could barely breathe. Then two long gnomes grabbed my arms and twisted them back. I couldn't move. For such little guys, they were incredibly strong. The gnomes from McClatch's yard strode up to me. In the dim light, I saw that one of them held something behind his back. What is that?" I stammered. "What are you going to do?" A cold smile spread over his face as he moved closer. His putrid breath floated over me. It almost made me gag. What is he hiding behind his back? What is he going to do to me? He giggled and raised his arm. He had the black marker in his hand. "Stop!" I cried. "Let me go!" But our porch gnomes held me in place, my arms tightly behind my back. McClatch's gnome raised the marker and began to scrape it against my forehead. I could feel the lines he drew. I knew they were form and M. Why M? What does that stand for? McClatchy. No, I guess wrong. Malfunction. The gnome rasped in his scratchy high voice. Malfunction. The gnomes all repeated. Malfunction, malfunction. They giggled and bumped each other's shoulders like a gnome high five. "What are you saying?" I cried. "Why are you saying that?" They giggled some more and bumped shoulders. With a cry, I burst forward and broke free. I took off running hard. I could hear them chattering like birds and giggling behind me. I glanced back. They weren't chasing after me. I hurled myself along the side of the house, turned at the back, and shoved open the kitchen door. Gasping, I bolted inside and slammed the door hard behind me. I pressed my back against the kitchen door and listened. I couldn't hear them no more. Were they still hanging out in my front yard? No way to tell. My heart was pounding. I took a deep breath and held it, but that didn't help. Drops of sweat rolled down my forehead. I pushed away from the door and strode quickly into the living room. Mom and Dad turned to me from the center of the room. They both squinted at me. "Jay, were you outside?" Dad demanded. "We thought you were in your room," Mom said. "You know you're not supposed to go out after dark." I know," I stammered. "But I'm very disappointed in you," Dad said, shaking his head. "You promised you would follow the rules here, and instead..." "Lawn gnomes!" I cried. "Listen to me! You've got to hear what happened to me!" They glanced at each other, then turned back to me. What's that mark on your forehead?" Mom asked. It looks like an M. Please, I begged. Listen to me. Outside. Please, I begged. Listen to me. Outside, there were lawn gnomes. Dozens of them. And they came to life. Really? They chased me across the street. They put this M on my forehead. They stared at me without moving or speaking. I'm not making this up, I said breathlessly. The lawn gnomes came to life. They grabbed me. They choked me. You've got to believe me. I saw them. Please, believe me. I stood there, breathing hard. My heart pounded so fast, my chest hurt. Of course we believe you, Dad said finally. Of course, the lawn gnomes came alive. Of course, they chased you. What did you expect? Mom said. I stared at them both in disbelief. Am I losing my mind? And that is the end of chapter 19. Chapter 20. Mom and Dad refused to say another word about it. They said it was too late at night to talk. I begged them to explain, but they said it could wait till morning. They ordered me up to my room. The next morning, I hurried down to breakfast so they could explain about the lawn gnomes, but Dad gave me a half-hour lecture instead. He was angry and upset. He hardly let me get a word in. Jay, you promised, he said. You know perfectly well that no one goes out at night, yet you decided for some reason. I had to go out, I started. You're not supposed to break the rules, Jay. And the rule is to stay indoors at night. But you chose not to pay any attention to it. I lowered my head. Yeah, you're right about that, I murmured. But I had a good reason, Mr. McClatchy. Dad frowned at me. Jay, we talked about not causing trouble with the neighbors. You promised you would stop playing jokes on people. But he kicked Mr. Phineas. I don't care what Mr. McClatchy did, Dad said. We're talking about you. Are you going to obey the rules here and stop getting in trouble? He moved his face close to mine. I had no choice. Yes, I said. Yes, I promise, Dad. From now on, I'll be perfect. I mean it. I meant it, too. I didn't have my fingers crossed or anything. I decided it might be a lot easier to be good, and it definitely would be easier to stay out of trouble. Dad took his coffee cup into the other room. I heard a call. I turned and saw Elliot, the kid from the quagmire, standing at the kitchen door. Hey, I said. I felt embarrassed. How much did he hear? Did he hear Dad's whole lecture to me? How's it going? Elliot asked. Did you get in trouble for losing your bike? I shook my head. No, I got in trouble for something else, I said. Maybe Elliot can tell me what's up with the lawn gnomes coming to life. Come up to my room, I said. I led him upstairs. Nice house, he said in his gruff voice. It's okay, I replied. We stepped into my room. I had a lot of chemicals open and equipment strewn over my lab table. He glanced at it, then perched on the edge of my bed. He pushed back his black hair and gazed around. He looked bigger, wider, indoors than outdoors, like he was almost too big for my bed. He wasn't fat, just a big kid. I pulled my tall lab stool across from him and sat down on it. Something weird happened to me last night, I said. Maybe you can help me. He squinted at me. Help you? I went over to McClatchy's house, I said. I pointed out the bedroom window. And these lawn gnomes? His eyes went wide. You went outside at night? Really? Well, yeah, I said. And these lawn gnomes? They were alive. They grabbed me and... He suddenly looked away. I could see pink circles on his cheeks. He was blushing. He mumbled something, but I couldn't hear him. What's wrong? I asked. Do you know about the lawn gnomes coming to life? Tell me. You have to tell me. He shrugged his big shoulders. You know, he muttered. He kept his eyes on the window. No, really, I said. I don't know. Tell me, how do the gnomes come to life? They're just hunks of paint plaster, right? Elliot sighed. Come on, Jay. You know the answer. Why are you doing this? I don't know the answer, I said. I need you to tell me. They grabbed me, Elliot. It was totally scary. They took a marker and made a big M on my forehead. Oh, wow, Elliot muttered. They kept repeating this word. Malfunction, malfunction. Do you know what that means? He finally turned his eyes to me. No, he said. No. What does it mean? I'm asking you, I cried. Why can you help me? Listen, Mr. Phineas got free and caused a car crash. And the driver of the car kept saying the same word. Malfunction, malfunction. What does it mean? Why was he doing that? Beats me, Elliot said. He jumped to his feet and strode to the lab table. He gazed over the table and picked up a test tube. You're into science? I could see he wasn't going to help me. I followed him to the table. I like to experiment with chemicals, I told him. Create different mixtures and see how the chemicals react. And sometimes I come up with things. You know, inventions. He set the test tubes down carefully. Inventions? I nodded. I'll show you, I said. I pulled up the thing I've been working on. I handed it to him. He rolled it around in his hand. It's a candle. It looks like a candle, I said. I took it back from him. But I called it a light stick. See, you don't need a match to light it up. I treated it with chemical. You just blow on the end to light it, then blow once more to put it out. I raised the light stick between us, sucked in a deep breath, and blew on it. Quickly, I turned my eyes away. I knew how bright the flash would be. It made a fizz sound. And then a pop. A bright yellow flame exploded from the end of the stick. The flame surrounded both of us in bright light. Elliot's eyes bulged. He uttered a sharp cry and dropped to the floor with a groan. His head bounced on the floor. He lay sprawled on his back, eyes shut, not moving. I let out a startled gasp. Was it too bright for him? I blew out the light stick. Then I whirled around the side of the table and dropped to my knees beside him. Oh no! What have I done? And that is the end of chapter 20. And that is the end of chapter 20. So what do you think? It's getting better, right? Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in to One Book or Novel at a Time. Remember, everybody's a reader. Some of you haven't found the right book or the right series. What if this is the right book or the right series for you? And if it's not, it's okay. You can continue looking for that right book. Once again, thank you for tuning in to One Book or Novel at a Time. Have an awesome day.